in terms of day to day, consider the energy that you do have. How much do you have? Is it finite or is it infinite? Okay, because we do get tired. There's no doubt about it. You're going to get tired. There's going to be a finite amount of energy. There's going to be a finite amount of effort. There's going to be a finite amount of courage that you have. You're going to get worn out. Okay, maybe not in the terms of like if we want to talk theology and go out and like into the course of your life and all this stuff, you might look at this a little different, which we might get into here in a little bit. But think about this: you have a finite amount of energy during the day, and then when you go to sleep and you wake up the next day, you don't get to hold on to the energy that was left over, do you? So if I do less today, am I going to have more to go on tomorrow? It's not like money. It's not like, oh, I'm going to stuff this away and then I'll have more for a rainy day. No, that's not what happens. We used to, when I played baseball, I remember in Little League finding out what this meant. It was we called it stuffing. A pitcher would get up there and he'd throw really light for the first couple innings to try to get us used to him like being just, like a slow thrower, and he'd conserving his energy. And then later in the game, he'd start throwing really hard. Well, the reality is that it didn't work. His arms still got tired. Okay, because he was trying to run to do this thing lazy. I remember I would always run the mile in school. I'd always run it as fast as I could. Well, one time I was like, you know what, I felt really bad for this one girl that was really slow, so I ran the mile with her to try to encourage her along. A bunch of us did, actually. It was a really nice thing for us to do, but I remember thinking, like, at the 9-minute mark, I remember being like, man, it is so much harder to run this thing super slow than to just go at it hard and get it done. So think about this in terms of the energy that you apply day to day to day. Use it all. Don't sit here and try to conserve this thing. In the movie Gattaca from it was probably 1997, I don't know, it was the late 90s movie with Ethan Hawke. So Ethan Hawke's character name is Vincent. Vincent, in the movie, parents have a choice to make their kids genetically superior or not, so they can genetically alter them so that they don't have certain. So Vincent, they choose, we don't want to do it. We don't want to have the genetic stuff going on, so Vincent's just born normal. He's got the normal heart, the normal genes, the normal genetics. Whereas his brother, Anton, they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's add it in. So they got sold on it. So Anton is the superior genetic specimen. Vincent is the inferior genetic specimen. Well, in the movie, a lot of things happen. I very much encourage the movie. But anyway, later on in their life, they haven't seen each other in a long time. Anton confronts Vincent. They get into a little bit of a skirmish, and then they say they decide to do this. They're going to swim across like an aisle, like something that they did with their kid when they were kids. And Vincent couldn't really keep up. He's genetically inferior to these kids, right? So he couldn't really keep up the way that his brother could. Anyway, so they go through the swim and they're trying to compete. They're trying to go across this body of water. And at some point, Anton says, "We need to stop. We need to go back." And Vincent says, "Do you want to quit? Do you want to quit?" And he goes, "No." And they swim on. And then Anton stops again and he's like, "How are you doing this, Vincent? How are you doing this? How did you do any of this?" And Vincent replies, "Do you want to know how I did it? I didn't leave anything for the swim back." He didn't leave anything back. And this is what I'm going to encourage you to do too. This is put everything you have into every single day, because you don't get like what would be the point in having the energy to go back? You don't get to go back to yesterday or the day before or the day before. You're not going to get to do that. You only get to move forward. Okay, this isn't like we're swimming across and then going back. We don't have the ability to do that. We only get to be right now. So use all the energy, all the focus, all the courage that you have, because you're going to get more of it tomorrow. The more I use today, the more I get tomorrow. Do you see what I'm saying? If I could use up 100% of this amount of energy that I have, this amount of courage, this amount of effort, this amount of focus that I have to drive towards my life that I want to live, and still have all of that tomorrow. In fact, if I do the scary things today, I get more courage tomorrow. If I discipline myself to being focused on what I do want and the task involved in getting those today, I get more focus tomorrow. Okay? I get more energy tomorrow because I put that energy in today, because I went and got that sleep that rejuvenated all of it to be able to push out into tomorrow. If I conserve back here today and say, I'm going to conserve my energy, I'm not going to do the scary thing, I'm not going to focus on the life that I do want, in the hopes that tomorrow I'll have more energy, more focus, and more courage to be able to push off, then I didn't get those things. This is the status quo playing a trick on you. They're like, conserve, conserve, conserve. Bullshit. Push out as much as you possibly can today, because you're going to go to sleep tonight, rejuvenate it all, recover it, and then you get more tomorrow. This isn't the other way around. Status quo tries to tell you how to be regular, how to be normal, how to be status quo, how to be everyday just like everybody else. But you're not just like everybody else, because you're you. No matter what, you can prove that to yourself real easy. You are you. You don't have to try to be different, because you can just be yourself. That is different in and of itself. You're not here to be regular. You're not here to be normal. You're not here to live this status quo garbage life. Okay? You're not here to fit in. You're here to be you. I'm not saying you're here to try to be different. I'm saying you're here to be you. And to be you, you need to push every amount of energy, focus, effort, courage into today, because you're going to get to go to sleep tonight, rejuvenate. So let's say you start out here. This is as much focus, energy, effort, and courage that you possibly have. And by the end of the day, man, you're running out. You're running out hardcore. You're running out hardcore. Well, this is the nice thing. At 10 o'clock at night, you go to sleep. All of a sudden, those fill up, those fill up, those fill up. And they go higher than they were the day before. Okay? Now, I wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning. You get to push and use those all into the day that you are at right now. Don't sit there and try to toy yourself up with this garbage status quo nonsense. Use it. Use everything you have today. It's no different than time. You have a certain number of seconds today, and then they're gone. Well, you don't get to keep them tomorrow. So use every one of them that you possibly can today, so that you can drive out and be better at using them tomorrow. Use every amount of energy, focus, courage, and energy that you have into today, and you will benefit from it every day for the rest of your life. Okay? Use that. Don't sit here and conserve. Use it.